Now this just in, police officers were asking people to be on the lookout for a man, and I think we do have his description. Can we take his description? Okay, this is the guy.
This thing dies on the road, but not only does it die on the road, I am currently crooked, so I am taking up both lanes of traffic. And it's by far the most street illegal thing on the planet. It doesn't run, it barely has brakes, no insurance, all the great things that you want when you're dead in the middle of the road. I'm messing with the engine, trying to get it running. I look up, sure enough, there is a cop parked 2 foot from my rear bumper. As I make eye contact with him, he's just shaking his head like this. And I'm going, holy sh**.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm here.
Oh, no! No! No!
Is that original 4-cylinder?
Oh, yeah. What's up? It's Casey from Casey's Customs. We're back on the $1,500 traditional hot rod budget build. In this video, we do a ton of sheet metal work. We do some engine maintenance. We take it out on a public road for the first time, and it goes about as badly as it could. And the cops show up. Let's get to the footage. It's time to do another giveaway here on the channel. It's been a couple months since we did one. The Monte Carlo ended up winning. So if you would like a chance to win this car, go to Caseyscustoms.com. You can buy a sticker and you are entered to win. Check it out. It's a pretty good looking sticker if I do say so myself. We are back on the extreme budget build Model A Roadster. If you haven't been following, this is the 1929 Model A. I bought this for $1,500. Me and my dad bought it together, and we're trying to build this thing as cheaply as possible while still kind of keeping some hot rod roots in it. I'm right now in it about $1,500, even though we've added some stuff. We have also sold extra parts that it came with, shit like that. We unfortunately are not dumb though. We still have to buy some more stuff. Good news is though, a lot of the stuff we need is cheap, and a lot of it we can save money on by doing it ourselves. Case in point is I am actually going to reuse the stock gas tank, even though somebody cut the cap off and originally we weren't going to use this at all. We have put water in this. It holds water. It's going to be okay. I'm going to clean it out a little bit more, and we're going to cover this up with a gas cap I bought on eBay for $9, which is going to work out. I also hate that this is on here, so I'm going to shave this. Just do some stuff like that that's cheaper. And I have been looking everywhere for a trunk lid. I have not been lucky enough to find one. I did find one that's made out of fiberglass. I don't really want a fiberglass one very badly, so I think I'm going to make my own trunk lid for now. I have some sheet metal over there. I have made several trunk lids for these Model A's over the years. They're pretty easy. I would rather have an OEM one, but for now, that's what I'm going to do because I'm kind of annoyed that it's just wide open and we don't have one. So we got a lot of stuff to do. Also, in the last video, I took this thing for a drive and our water pump was leaking like crazy. After we inspected it a little bit, we realized it was broke in half and it needed rebuilt. Well, I got lucky enough to win an auction for a brand new one. And not only that, this is a different setup, so it's a lot stronger. It has better bearings in it. So we got a lot of stuff to do, and I'm just rambling like usual. So where's my, oh, there's my gas cap. So what I want to do first is I'm going to vacuum this out one more time. I have filled this with water and vacuumed it out probably 10 times. I'm going to do it one more time just to make sure everything is okay. And then we're going to cover this up. And that is going to be my new little hidden gas cap. I think it'll be kind of sleek and look good. And then after we do that, I think I'm going to dig into the water pump because I really want to take this thing for a drive. Been around the block a couple times, but that's about it. Every time we take it out, we find something new that needs fixed. So hopefully by the end of this video, we can get a lot of sheet metal work done and actually go putt-putt a couple more blocks than we've went. All right, let's get to work. My bad, I thought I was on time lapse. I just needed to grind the rust off. We're breaking out the old school air chisel to cut through metal. Works great, but it's loud. If you look at the hole I need to fill and the size of sheet I just cut, you might go, what the hell are you doing? Well, I'm gonna experiment a little bit. I only need about 1/4 of this piece, and I can just drill a hole and weld that in there, make it kind of boring, which would be fine. It's gonna look cool anyways, because these originally had a big old normal cap. I mean, bigger than that, which would be okay, but since somebody cut it out, I'm not gonna replace it with that. I'm gonna go with my cheapy $9 gas cap. But what I wanna do, this is a 2-inch dimple die. I wanna see if I can do a dimple die and basically not use the full 2-inch, just drill that hole and then do a dimple die and see if I can't basically get a dimple all the way around it and then weld it in. It might look cool, it might look stupid, I don't know. That's why I cut extra sheet. We're gonna do some experimenting and see what it's gonna look like. Also, it's a pretty thick piece for a dimple die of this design without a hydraulic press, so it might not work at all, but we're gonna find out. All right, I don't know if this is gonna work. Let's find out together. Got plenty of oil in it. Oh, look at that. Let me see if I can't straighten it out before we call it a loss. Expectations are low, but let's see what happens. Oh, that's not bad at all. Oh my God, that's so much better than I thought. We obviously need to straighten the piece of sheet metal out. Yeah, you do that right there in the middle. Ooh, all right. Let me see if I can straighten this damn thing. That is one hell of a bend. Oh, it looks good that way too, actually. So that was a ton of stress on such a small panel. Almost impossible to get it all the way out. The good news is, one, this isn't a show car, and two, that cowl actually has a little bit of crown to it already, so we're actually gonna use that to our advantage. And as we're trying to hammer all this stress out, we're gonna kind of put some of that crown in it. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone, basically. Fortunately, I don't have any of my metalworking tools here. My English wheel, my planishing hammer, my sandbag, all that is at the other shop, but we should be able to make it work with what we got here. Check it out. Damn, that looks pretty good to me. Now, I was gonna weld this in. I'm not going to yet. I wanna make sure I get this piece fit to the cowl, because if I weld that in and then I mess up fitting it to the cowl, I'd have to cut it out, and I really don't wanna do that. So, let's get her in this cowl. I got the patch panel fitting real nice. 0 gap. I'm very happy with that, but we need to weld our gas cap in first. I'm just gonna get it tack welded. I don't know if I'm gonna fully weld it tonight or not, but I want to break out the old TIG welder, so I don't know. I'm gonna see how much more I want to go. It is hotter than hell, and I feel like I'm saying that every video, so I'm sure people are tired of hearing it, but 2 in the morning, it's not supposed to be hot. Now here's where it gets tricky. You gotta line these up just like this. Holy shit. I almost actually did it. That's going on the blooper reel. We're pretty good right there. I don't hate it. Ow! We just want it to not move on us, because they can move around and get shitty real quick. It's already trying to move on me. The first weld, you're already trying to move? Alright, now that it's tack welded, since we're going to TIG weld it, I got to grind all of the tack welds out, because that's a MIG weld and it does not mix great with our TIG weld. So we're going to grind those down real quick. This is not fast at all. So this is definitely gonna be time-lapse. Check it out. TIG weld came out really nice. Great thing about TIG welding is there's almost no material there, so it's super easy to grind down. I'm gonna let this cool just a little bit more. Also, you can control the heat very, very well. I welded that whole thing and it almost didn't warp at all, which is awesome. So I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit and then we're gonna grind it smooth and call this a night. Naturally, this could have just been a couple tack welds and be done, but we gotta go extra with everything. So let's grind it and call it a day. Check it out. That don't look half bad at all. I like it a lot. We've been having so much fun on the channel doing budget builds and stuff. It's nice every now and then to just get back to the roots. This is how I paid my bills for 15 years running a hot rod shop, was doing metal work, because not a lot of shops would do metal work. They could do body and paint and stuff, but they couldn't do metal work. So every now and then I like to go all out and spend way too much time on something very simple. I'm calling it a night. Got to make a custom gas cap on this 1929 Ford Model A. And we're going to do it the way I used to do these videos. And that's by throwing some shit at some shit. First thing I need to do is cut a piece of sheet metal like that. Oh, perfect. Now the next thing we need to do is put a weld-on gas cap on our piece of metal. Just like this. Oh, that looks great. Now, here's where it gets tricky. You got to line these up just like this. Oh, that is perfect. We got no gap. Now we got to weld it. Just like this. Wait. Oh, shit, it's not on. My bad. That was a real amateur mistake. Let's try this again. Oh, perfect. That is tack welded very nice. Now we're going to get real fancy on them. And break out the TIG. See, now this you don't want to throw too hard. Let's just go right there. Oh, yeah. Now all we got to do is grind these welds. Come on. Oh, this came out great. We got one last thing to do, and this is a wrap. Here is the gas cap. Beautiful. Sweet. Thought I drained all this already, but it's already starting to leak as I took the hose off. Oh, okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I definitely need to keep it tilted this way. This looks so much better than the other one we had. Oh, it's silicone. Don't strip, don't strip, don't strip! Don't strip, don't strip, don't strip! Don't strip! Oh, perfect. Beautiful. Not only did we get a brand new water pump, we got new hardware with it, which is very, very nice. The shop's clean. I don't know what to do with myself. Don't strip, don't strip, don't strip! Alright, now I have to put all this shit back together. I just realized I did not record a video about what I had to do. I just came in here, got right to work, so I should probably do that. Our water pump is bad, and unfortunately they are extremely expensive, but you can rebuild them. But as you can see, this one actually cracked. That is not really fixable. You could maybe weld it, but most likely not. They're like 350 bucks, 300 bucks. I was pissed because this is a major budget build. I'm trying to keep this thing like around $1,500, maybe under $1,500. And I was like, we're screwed. Sure enough, I found an auction and it was for sale. I ended up winning the auction for $80. It was new, but the guy never installed it. So it wasn't coming brand new from a store. but it was coming brand new from a person, and it looks great. It has heavier duty bearings in it. It's not just a replacement, it's like a rebuilt one with stronger materials. It looks awesome. I got that installed, so that should fix one of my main issues with the drive I took. Also, another big issue was our clutch is currently all the way out of adjustment. So you have to push that past the floor and it still doesn't really grab a gear. So I probably am gonna have to make my own clutch rod. I don't know, we're gonna mess with that here in a little bit. But I did just get the new water pump installed. So now I gotta put the whole front end back on. Also, this metal work that we did yesterday came out perfect, but I'm gonna start getting it wet because I would like it to match the rest of the cowl. You can also put it outside for a couple weeks. That'll do the same thing, but every now and then I'm just gonna spray it so it'll hopefully rust in and match a little bit. Obviously, it's not the end of the world. If I had vinegar, it would do it real quick, but I don't have any vinegar right now. So let's put the radiator back in, and then I don't know what we're gonna work on next. We're gonna work on something after that. Got her all put back together. Everything looks great. I don't know if I'm gonna start on the clutch yet or if I wanna make my battery mount. We're gonna be putting the battery in the trunk. I might start on that. We're gonna put it right there. I just gotta make like a little platform. It'll be super easy. I also need to get going on the trunk lid itself. I don't know what the hell I wanna work on yet, to be completely honest with you. I should probably do the clutch first because it is a problem. The only thing is, let me see if I can zoom in. That is the original clutch rod, and the threads don't look great, and it's 95 years old, so I don't know how much I'm gonna have to cut and just mess with that. That's the only reason I'm kind of like delaying it, but we probably just need to do it. I could technically put the battery back there. I think that's where it is from the factory, but I'd rather just cut that old bracing out and just get it back here out of the way, and then I don't have to worry about stepping on anything. I should probably do that first. All right, let's do the clutch. Oh, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. Well, we knew it was coming, just like everything on this car. It's 95 years old, and the bolt is just frozen. I've done everything, cranked on it with a pipe wrench. It's not moving at all, so I'm gonna have to cut it out. It's a real pain in the ass the way it slides in there. I don't even know how I'm gonna be able to cut it out yet. I don't wanna cut the clutch pedal itself, so I don't know exactly how I'm gonna get this thing out yet, but we're gonna have to cut it. So I had a feeling that was gonna happen, and it sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So here is what I cut out. This is a threaded rod basically, and then it threads into there, and this is your adjustment. This rod can get shorter or longer depending on what you need in your clutch. Now, since it's so old, none of it wanted to move, but in theory, I could have just tightened this up 3 rotations and it probably would have been okay, but here we are. We have to make all this from scratch. Originally, I thought I could just put a bolt on there and weld a nut. I can't. It has to be able to move because whenever the clutch pedal pivots, the whole rod assembly kind of articulates with it. So I'm gonna have to drill and tap this and then weld a nut to it, and then also weld this rod, because this ties into our clutch, onto there somehow. Yeah, I don't know. And there's a good chance after I do all that, it doesn't even work. So let's start cutting some shit. Oh, you piece of shit. Stop moving. If you are ever curious why hot rods take a long time to build and why it's just easy to get caught up on something and you spend a whole day on it that you were not planning on doing, this is a perfect example. This is a tiny little piece. It's just a little, threaded rod, but I can order one. Has to be a specialty part. I won't get it for 2 weeks, just like everything else when I order on this car. So we got to make it. So even though it's just a stupid little threaded rod, had to cut a bolt, had to drill and tap the bolt, had to make a new threaded rod, had to use the original clamp so that it'll bolt in to the stock transmission. Just stuff like that just eats up a whole day. I spent probably an hour on this damn thing, and it's just a little throwaway part that's probably $5 if you had to buy it, but it'll take forever to get, and I need it. I'm gonna let this cool tonight, and then we'll come in tomorrow. I'll get it all adjusted. I'd like to get the battery in the trunk and take it for a little cruise. Once the clutch is good, I should be able to fire it up and drive it a little bit. This thing still hasn't went on much more of a drive than around the block, and the one time I did go around the block, a cop showed up, so that was fun. Okay, I think I got the clutch pedal done. Have not sat in the seat yet to find out. Probably should have took the old knee pads off, but that's okay. Let's see. Oh, I forgot. I forgot until I just sat in this. I'm supposed to move the throttle pedal too. Damn it, because it's a little funky. Well, it might be all right. Oh, we are money, baby. That's just fine. It needs bent over a little bit. I think it might have got hit one time. God, there's all kinds of stuff in here that needs cut. There we go. Definitely got to tweak the throttle cable. Now it is time to make a battery box. I just went down to the other shop, and got my cable. This should be plenty. I hope so. But wherever this runs out, that's where we're going to put it. So I don't want to go buy any more. This stuff is not cheap. Oh, I think we're good. She's going to sit right there. Where did I put the nut to that? Right there. Oh, I got plenty. This was actually just a scrap piece that I had from another project. That's going to work out just fine. This should run right there, right there, right there. Well, I was going to put it over there. I'm going to change. I'm going to put it here just to save myself a little trouble. Let's get going. Let's make a battery box. We're going to make it about the easiest way ever. So anytime you are putting a battery in the trunk, you need to worry much less about how it looks and more about how strong it is. Since it's going to be way back here, you don't want to have any, questions about it moving around, anything like that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put another piece of square tubing across the back, and then I'm going to use this super thick angle iron I have. I'm just going to make a little channel, and then the battery will sit right in the channel, be perfect. It'll be back here out of the way, plenty strong, and then basically I'll be able to run my ground wire from the battery straight to the subfloor or the frame, whatever you want to call it. Technically you could tie it right into the frame, but these are already connected anyway. And then we should be perfectly good. Knock another thing off the list, and I don't have to worry about, if you've seen any of my drives, whenever we have taken this for a drive, we have ratchet strapped the battery to the steering column. So I'm very happy to not have that be the situation the next time we drive it. So let's make a battery box. Check her out. She is in. I just got to tighten a couple things up. Went ahead and welded a bolt to the frame so I know my ground is good. And just like that, we have relocated our battery to the trunk. Should I try and start it to make sure the battery works? Yes. That might also be dumb. Make sure she's in neutral. That's not neutral. That's neutral. Can the camera even see what I'm doing? That's another good question. Oh, yeah, we're good. Oh, yep, that's hot. Ow! Ow! That was stupid. That's called impatience. When you just can't, you're too impatient to go grab the right wrench. Ha! Sweet! Battery is good, but I'm gonna undo it for now because I'm gonna do something else I don't want to do yet, but I'm gonna figure it out. I could cut my trunk lid out. Maybe we'll do that. Let's cut our trunk lid out, even though I do not have square tubing I need to finish the trunk lid. We could at least maybe just put it over there for now. I have some 1/2-inch square tubing coming that I'm going to use to make my frame, and I'm just waiting on it. It won't be here for a couple days. I also have square tubing coming to finish the floor and also start the floor on the Blazer and the Impala. I'm just kind of hung up on my metal order right now. But we got sheet metal, so let's get it cut out at least. It's currently 2 in the morning, and I want to form this trunk lid on that tree over there. So I don't even know if the camera can see me. I'm either going to use the tree or this pole. Let's see what happens. There's no chance the camera can see me over here, but we got a shit to do. Well, if you could just sit right there for 1 second. Oh, that was nice. Good start. What I can do now, I left it a little bit long on the edges, so what I can do, whenever my framework comes in, I'm not going to be able to do it this video, but whenever it comes in, I can get in here and trace on the inside exactly where that lip is to the quarter panel, and then we can trim it so it fits perfect. I left it like a 1/4 inch long all the way around, but it's got a little bit of shape in it, which is fine. It'll need more. I'll have to end up rolling it with the English wheel down in my other shop. But that's a pretty damn good start, considering it doesn't have a frame. What I want to do tomorrow, we got the clutch fixed, we got the battery relocated, we got the water pump fixed, we got the tank fixed. Basically, we got everything we can do. I should, knock on wood, I don't have any, oh, there we go. Knock on wood, we should be able to take it for a proper drive tomorrow, much better than our others. I'd like to just get it putted around a little bit, and then next week we'll start on the floor whenever I finally get my square tubing in that I ordered. But very happy. Really happy on this too. I wasn't so sure I was going to get much done. The inner structure really holds the form, so I was kind of like, this might be pointless, but I like what I did. I just stuck a screw on each corner, put a little bit of shape in it, not enough, but this will really help me whenever it comes time. And I don't have to worry about having it wide open and my battery falling out whenever I take it for a drive. So tomorrow we're going to hook up a GoPro, see if we can't take her for a little putt around the block. I'd like to get some pictures of it out, like on a street would be kind of cool. All the pictures I've had have been in the driveway or here in the shop. It is late and I'm going to bed. This third shift stuff is kind of fun, but it's also got my sleeping all thrown off. All right, it's currently about noon. I am ready to take this old girl for a drive. I finished up my wiring. I needed to get the battery in there, get the wires run. I need to rerun my on-off switch so I can kill it if it hits the fan. Put some gas in it, fired it right up, started instantly, which is great. This thing starts so easy. It's just keeping it running has been the issues in the past, but it's hotter than hell right now. I'm gonna go ahead, top off the radiator fluid, and we're gonna take her for a little drive. What I really wanna do is get it out on the street. I wanna go around the block once or twice, and I wanna get a picture of it out on the street. I think I said this in the video already, but all the pictures I have of this thing are in the shop or in the driveway, so I think on the street would be cool as shit. So that's the goal. I'm setting up the GoPro right now. Let's take her for a spin.
Are you making this?
Huh?
Are you making
Yeah,
this?
I just took a picture of it real quick.
Dude.
It needs a lot.
Is that original 4-cylinder?
Oh yeah, 95-year-old. brakes sticking or something. So that was probably one of the scariest first drives I've ever had, and we wrecked my 57 Chevy on its first drive. This one was scarier for a different reason. I take it out for the drive. It's riding okay, not great. I definitely got my clutch rod adjusted wrong. I have to fix that before I take it out again. I get it up to the top of the alley, I pull it onto the street, and I park catty corner in the street, turn the car off. So I'm basically blocking the whole street, but it's a really cool shot. So I bend down, I get out of the car, I take a bunch of pictures. I'm like, this looks great. As I stand up, I look and there's a car coming behind me and I go, oh shit, I'm blocking the street. And I'm like, that's a cop. That is a black car with like silver on it. I'm like, holy shit, I'm in so much trouble. He doesn't have his lights on, but he is right behind me, like 3 feet from my bumper. I come up to him, I'm like, I'm so sorry, you know. I like start explaining, I'm like, I was trying to get a picture. He goes, oh, that's cool, no big deal. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. I'll get out of your way, no big deal. I'm like, what a cool cop. I get in, it won't start. I'm like messing with the choke, but it's like not starting. And I'm like, so I get out and I kind of push it to one side of the road. I'm on the wrong side of the road, mind you, but I'm like, at least he can get by if he has shit to do. He doesn't. He goes from over here to right up next to me. He pulls right here. He just starts talking to me, and I'm like, you can see it on the video. I already watched it. I'm like panicking. I'm like, oh yeah. But he just goes, hey, you building this? Is it got the old 4-cylinder in it? You know, he's just asking me questions. I'm like, oh, this is so great. But he just hangs out while I'm trying to start it, and I'm like, man, this cannot go good if this thing doesn't start. He's gonna be like, hey, I was cool with you pulling it up here, but it's dead in the middle of the street. I'm gonna have to give you a ticket or whatever. Finally, the damn thing starts up, and then he just pulls off next to me and just gives me a wave. He's like, eh. I'm like, oh, thanks. So I do a quick U-turn. I get 10 feet. He's over the hill, so I don't see him. I get 10 feet, the car dies. No idea what's going on. I'm like, what the shit? I start cranking on it so much I almost kill the battery. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on, you know, and I'm freaking out. So I get out and start pushing it. I was like, I gotta get this thing off the street, or, you know, somebody's gonna come up not looking and hit me. I start pushing it, push it down the alley, try and start it again, nothing. I'm like, okay. I can't push it down the alley. I don't know if the brake's locked up or something. Those big ass front tires do not like to be pushed. So I start using the starter to push it. I put it in gear and then just push it the rest of the way with the starter. Get it in here. I'm freaking out. I'm sweating. I'm like, oh, what the hell's going on? Holy shit. Look at this. From jumping up and down the alley, it's not a smooth alley. The damn coil came unplugged from the distributor. I wasn't checking that. I assumed it was something else. I assumed it was flooded, you know, whatever. Worked out just fine. I'm freaking out. I am obviously going to tweak a couple things. The clutch rod needs adjusted the most. And we're going to take it out again. I am currently fighting the sunlight, though. It's like 8:30. I got about 15 minutes before it gets pitch black. So we're going to get done what we can, try and take her out again. So wish me luck. Hopefully the cops do not show up again. Okay. I took us for a drive earlier today. Had some issues. I think I got it all fixed. We're going to find out together because I'm not 100% sure. Oh, that helps. One time. No, not here, please. Come on, no. sounded good, because I just got shocked. I'm in the middle of the goddamn street right now. It's not great. Oh, oh shit. Oh shit. Come on. Oh, god damn it. Oh, you're fucking heavy. Something is not grounded right. I see sparks all over the goddamn. God damn. Sparked me up here. All right, well, something's not right. Let's keep pushing. Oh, shit. I'm pushing the block. It starts right there. You ain't coming back in the shop. You can kiss my ass. The Impala's coming in. This car hates me. I'm starting to hate it back. So, second drive was not great. Had to push it again. I got it up to the top of the alley. It was not running great. I don't know what the hell was going on. It dies up at the street again. I'm like, what the does it hate this street up here? What is going on? Can't get it started again. I'm trying. I'm giving it all kinds of hell. I come over here and start messing with it out of the car, and I'm in the middle of the damn road again. I start messing with it. I try and start it with my hand up here. It shocks the living shit out of me. I'm like, what the hell? I did it again. It shocked my leg because my leg was touching the body. I'm like, something is way off. I got a ground bad somewhere. Can't get it figured out. I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to push it back. I already did it once today. Might as well do it again. Push it all the way back in here. I get it right here in front of the garage door. Turn it off, turn it on. It fires right up. I'm like, you got to be friggin' kidding me. The only thing I can think is that I have a bad radiator hose down there. I think it might have just got everything wet and it was enough to like throw my spark off. Maybe it got down in the distributor on the points. I have no idea. There's no reason it should, but I have vowed I am not driving this car again until my dad is involved. He's like the Model A whisperer. He knows a lot more about these engines than I do, and I'm just getting frustrated at this point. I was so pissed when I was pushing it this last time. The first time, I was more scared than anything because of the cop. I just assumed I was going to get the worst ticket ever, blocking the road, you know, in a car that doesn't run. But this time I was just pissed. I was like, you piece of shit, you know. So I'm going to give it one more shot. In the next video, I'm going to have him helping me with it. We'll take it for a longer drive. If it doesn't work the next time, I'm pulling all this shit out, putting a small block Chevy in it. I already have a 327 out of a 60s Vet. I can put a, you know, just a little cheapy transmission behind it. S10 rear end works out perfect. You know, we'll do a 4-link, get it laid on the ground. We could do so much for so little on these cars. And yeah, I don't know if the 4-cylinder is worth all the fight that it's given me because it's 40 horsepower. It is fun. And I do love traditional hot rods. This is basically the way they would have hot rodded it in the 50s. But yeah, I don't know. The pushing thing, I'm about done with that. So this old girl's going to go outside for a little bit. I'm going to work on something else and get my dad involved before we get too crazy. Because, yeah, so freaking annoyed. And it's a light, it's a little bitty thing. It is heavy as hell when you push it. I don't know why. I think it's the big-ass front tires, but it pushes like a friggin' Tahoe. I mean, whatever. Had to push it again. I got it up to the top of the alley. It was not running great. I don't know what the hell was going on. It dies up at the street again. I'm like, what does it hate this street up here? What is going on? I'm in the middle of the damn road again. I start messing with it. I try and start it with my hand up here. It shocks the living shit out of me. I'm like, what the hell? I did it again. It shocked my leg because my leg was touching the body. I'm like, something is way off. I got a ground bad somewhere. Can't get it figured out. I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to push it back. I already did it once today. Might as well do it again. Push it all the way back in here. I get it right here in front of the garage door. Turn it off, turn it on. It fires right up. I'm like, you got to be friggin' kidding me. The only thing I can think is that I have a bad radiator hose down there. I think I might have just got everything wet and it was enough to like throw my spark off. Maybe it got down in the distributor on the points. I have no idea. There's no reason it should, but I have vowed I am not driving this car again until my dad is involved. He's like the Model A whisperer. He knows a lot more about these engines than I do, and I'm just getting frustrated at this point. I was so pissed when I was pushing it this last time. If you are not already subscribed, please hit that button now. If you are subscribed, make sure you turn your post notifications on. You'll get notified every single time I post a new video. If this car was not your cup of tea, do not worry. We have 6 or 7 other projects going on in the shop. We're building some really cool shit right now. We also got some new stuff coming up that'll be out in the next couple of videos, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you very much for watching. For the coolest merchandise on the planet, go to Caseyscustoms.com. Please like, share, comment, all that good shit they tell you at the end of videos, and check out some of my other videos. Peace. I love you.